Hi, Peter Kalos here with the Melbourne Actors Lab YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. Today I want to talk to you about balancing the creative side of your career with the business aspect of it. You need both. Don't kid yourself, okay? Now, I'll give you an example. The Actors Studio, amazing place. It's got some amazing, very creative, very skilled actors, but a lot of them are either too scared or they can't get their stuff together to get out there and face the industry, get a job, put that into practice. On the other hand, we know many actors that have close to zero skill. They're just going off their looks and charm. They've got all the business aspects of it, you know, the YouTube channel, the headshot, the agent, all that shit. But what they don't have is acting skill. And that career is limited also. You become a star. You're not an actor. At the actor we're talking about. I'm talking to actors here. I want you to understand that. I'm talking about hardcore career, long-lasting actors. That's what I'm interested in. So here is some advice on how to balance both. Okay, I'm sure there's a much more presentable way for me to do this, but call me an old fart. I'm a pen and paper person. It all starts with you, the person. That's important, and I'll tell you why it's important. At some stage, this person decided to become an actor. So we have you, the person, and you, the actor. I always tell people, separate the two. This, make a carbon copy of this. This is your private side. This is who you bring at home. This is the creative side. It's private, it's secret, it's no one's business, how it's fed. But this is the side that you bring to the film set. Do not bring this to home. It's unfair on your family. It's unfair on your loved ones, okay? There's an aspect of this which is the red carpet side of you. That's different. Take care of this person. Make a carbon copy of this. This is your skill, your craft. You're the actor here. This is what comes to the set, okay? This does not belong on the set. This is private, home, separate. Learn to distinguish the two. Now, the big one to this, once you've decided to become an actor, there's a thing called acting skills. Most people think you can just get off on your charm and your looks. And while that might take you somewhere, it might bring you in the room, it's very difficult to sustain a career. And many people always give me an example. Oh, well, I know such and such, you know, that is an actor and they never studied anywhere. But then I tell them, which actor do you admire? And they all give me a list of actors that I've studied for years. Brando studied for years with Stella Adler, literally years, right? And then he went on to other people. De Niro, same thing, with both Stella and Lee. Al Pacino, primarily with Lee. Dustin Hoffman, many other people. And not only that, one thing that I was not surprised by, but it happened, when you go to LA or you go to New York and you go to the Actor Studio, you see all these amazing people still turn up to do their exercises. They don't need to. They got Academy Awards, they got all the careers in the world, but they still turn up to keep this side of their work sharp. Most people, most actors don't. They don't keep this up. They just think charm and looks is enough. It's enough maybe to get you in the door, but not to sustain a career at the level we're talking about, okay? So it's you, the person, you, the actor, separate, and these two go hand in hand, okay? Then, let's talk about this. Most people talk about this, an agent. The agent's primary job is to get you work. The agent will go find the breakdowns, find out what's available, give you a call, say, hey, you got an audition, this is the date, go for it. Most people that I meet, I say what's going on, they go, well, I'm looking for a new agent. And I say, why? Well, my career's gotten nowhere. And they think by some miracle that some agent will save them, when there's not much you're giving them to save. And we'll talk about that very soon. I want to talk about one thing. There's a massive difference between an agent and a manager. Most actors I know in America all have an agent and a manager. For some reason, it's kind of frowned upon here in Australia. They think you don't need a manager. They think you need an agent. There are some agents that act as both. The basic difference is this. This person here gets you work, gets you your auditions. This person here, the manager, they see the overall picture. What should you do next? What kind of roles are you looking for after this one? Without being shitty towards an agent, this is more a long-term growth. Unless you find an agent that does both, but almost every single person, every single actor I know in LA has an agent and a manager for different reasons. They're fine with it. Here in Australia, you find a lot of resistance when you say, I need an agent and a manager. They all get shitty. A lot of times they split the commission, which is what they do. The manager manages the whole career with you. Remember, you're the center of everything. And the agent primarily finds you work, negotiates the deal, handles all the paperwork, tells you when and where to turn up. Okay? That's what most people look for. There is another thing that's come into our world these days, and that's called social media. Is it important? Yes. I want you to think of this. You are a product. You're a product on a shelf in a supermarket. And the more people know of you, that's when managers come into and agents, the more people know of you, the more they'll know your name. They know something about you. What they know about you is where a good manager comes in. Ultimately, you want to be known as a good actor. Not a celebrity, not, oh, he's a nice person, not, oh, this is such and such. All they want at the end of the day is for you to be a great actor, which means your latest product. What's the latest project you worked on? How good was it? How good were you in it? That's the marketability. That's the bankable factor. How good were you on your last project? These three kind of work hand in hand. But what they're doing is promoting this. You, the actor. Okay? Now, let's talk about the other stuff. As far as work is created, the bottom of this scale here, and I'll put it over here so you can see it. I'll leave a little gap there. Self-generated work. That is the one thing you are in control of. I know, and you've all heard me say that, not all of you are writers, but all of you have amazing scenes in mind. And what you can do is sit down, write a short scene, 5-10 minutes long, film it. You've got a short scene. I don't want you to be one of these actors that sits around for the phone to ring, because then how appealing are you to an agent? If I had two identical actors, twin actors, and they both walked in the room with the exact same look, exact same acting skill, but one of them, the one on this side, has generated more work. They've done 5 short films, and the other one's done 0. Which one do you think the industry will pick? The one with the short films. Because they've done something. They've got a body of work. And that's the aim here. That's what makes your agent want you even more. That's what gives your manager something to work with. And that's what feeds this, the hype about you. Remember, you're a product, right? So you can do a lot of self-generating work. And that's important. That's where most of you fail. And as I tell most of you, that's the one thing you're in control of. I can control that. After that, we have this here, and I'll try and put it somewhere you can see it. Put it right there. Short independent films. These are films that usually made by film students, all that kind of stuff. Your agent doesn't give a shit about those because there's no paycheck for them. But it's better than doing nothing. So your job is to find this and find this. When you do these short films, especially at the beginning of your career, it's a great way to take all this acting skill and put it to use. See what works for you. This is where you grind your teeth as a working actor, turning up on a set on time, dealing with hair and makeup, dealing with all the distractions involved in a film set, dealing with the pressures of time and finishing on time and, having to pack up a set and move on so you get all your ideas in. This is a big one. These two are cousins in a sense, but they generate the groundwork of who you are. A lot of your body of work and a lot of your sellability comes from this. This thing here, plays. This, for the most part, is a passion project. Your agent might come see you in a play, but for the most times you do this for acting skill and for your own passion. There's a character in a play that you need to explore. Most great actors have done a shitload of plays that you don't know of, but they've done them. This is where we live as actors. You gotta get out there and do plays. There's nothing more challenging and more exciting and more rewarding than putting your craft in front of a live audience. You're on a live wire, there's no second chance. This is what makes an actor, for the most part. This is what defines your ingredients. This is what you're made of. And the better the ingredient, the better the product. This is a great place to test it. So I urge people, self-generating work, short films, and plays is a must. You must get your ass on a film, on a stage. As far as the industry is concerned, the bottom of the pile here is a TV ad. When you first walk into an agent or a manager, they go, "Can I sell this person?" And what the selling mostly comes down to is TV commercials. It's easy money for them. You're going to go there, you're going to sell toothpaste or whatever, and you're going to get a job and they'll make a commission. That's a big part of the world. Not everyone wants to do it. There was a time when actors were separate from commercials. That time's gone. They'll gladly do a commercial. They might not do it in the country you're in. This is where a good manager is involved. If you want to be seen as a serious actor in LA, you will do a commercial overseas that they never show you in America. A manager makes sure that happens, but you'll get money and they'll get money. That way you're a product and they sold you, and that keeps them happy, right? This is part of the industry, part of the gig. How sellable are you? Commercials. That's the first thing you'll go for. Not necessarily much to do with acting skill. Don't forget, a lot of times the casting agent or the director to these commercials has very, very little word in it. There's a good friend of mine, Paul Dector. He used to be an amazing, I think he still is, commercial director. But it's the client. It's the person paying for the product saying, "I want this look and this vibe for my product." So a lot of times it's just charm and looks that get you these gigs. But they're important. They keep these two people happy. And there's money in the bank, which is something worth looking at. The level up from all that is TV shows. There you go. There was a time when TV shows were separate from films. That's gone also. Especially in America, the last 20 years, television has skyrocketed. The level of work has gone to a whole other level because there was a lot of film actors that couldn't get work, so they decided to do TV. This is what you're aiming for also. Especially in today's world, TV is a whole other level. It's much more creative, the opinions are better, much better acting in it, all right? So your agent will originally send you for this, and then they'll aim for this, TV shows. Having said that, the mother of all our work, the top tier, is by far feature films. This is what we dream of. This is what we talk about when we say, "I want to be an actor." And I'll put it somewhere you can see it. There we go. This is everything. Now, let's look at everything again, and I want you to understand this. This is you, the actor. This is acting skills. This is the work, self-generated work, short indie films. They all support plays. They all support TV ads, TV shows, and ultimately features. You will have a better chance of getting this if you've got some history in all this. So all this supports this, which is the ultimate thing. You, that's you. You are the one with the acting skill, you feed everything. If I took this away, I don't have, none of this has any voice. It's gone. But here's what I want you to understand. This person, I can hire someone. At the very beginning, when you know one, you are your own agent, you are your own manager, you do your own social media, you generate your own work. You might find ways to get an audition for this. As you get better and you better chance, you can hire someone for this. You can hire someone for this. You can hire a social media person. That side of business is taken care of. The one person, there's only one person responsible for the acting. Only your ass is responsible for the quality of work in here. So if you fail in this combination here, if you're focused too much on advertising and getting an agent and your social media without sharpening this tool, this will all fail. This becomes a B-grade film. This becomes a B-grade TV show. This becomes a shitty ad. Without this killer combination, this suffers. This gets a better agent. This gets a better manager. This gets more social media. This combination of the actor with killer acting skills feeds all this. And there's only one person that can do that. That's you. That's why most of your focus should be here. You and acting skill. Down the road, let's assume you become famous, for lack of a better word, you can allocate people to do this shit, but you're the only one driving this. And most people sadly don't focus on this. They focus on this. They do weekend workshops. They get the information intelligently in their head. They don't have the skill to put them in practice, and they fail. And then they turn to an agent and go, why aren't I getting any work? And the agent goes, well, because you're doing shit. That's why you're not getting any work. You're not giving me a reason to sell you. If you had some more of this, this is more sellable. This is number one. You, the actor with killer acting skills, trumps everything. It takes the rest of your life. Not a weekend workshop, not a one-year degree in some acting school where you get a certificate saying you're an actor. Do you understand the words, the rest of your acting life? That's what I want you all to focus. And then make sure this follows this. But if I took this away, I have nothing. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Please subscribe. Talk again soon.